Hey there, friend. Let me ask you something. Do you ever feel like aging is just an inevitable downhill slide? Like no matter what you do, your body and mind just won't cooperate the way they used to? Well, what if I told you that's not entirely true? In fact, there are certain things, just 5 key things, that only about 5% of seniors over 70 can do. And the best part? They're not superhuman feats. They're simple, practical habits that anyone can start today to feel stronger, sharper, and more vibrant. Now, you might be thinking, well, if only 5% of people are doing them, they must be hard, right? Not at all. The truth is, most people just don't know about them, or they underestimate how powerful these small changes can be. But the seniors who did them, they're the ones traveling well into their 80s and 90s, still gardening, dancing, laughing with grandkids, and living life on their terms. So today, we're going to talk about what those 5 things are, and how you can start incorporating them into your life right now. No complicated routines, no extreme diets, just simple, science-backed habits that can help you feel years younger. Ready? Let's dive in. 1. Maintain strong, flexible muscles. Yes, it's possible after 70. First up, strength. Now, I know what you might be thinking. I'm too old for weightlifting. But here's the thing. You don't need to bench press like a bodybuilder. The key is simply maintaining muscle strength and flexibility, because after 50, we naturally lose about 1 to 2% of our muscle mass every year. And if we don't do something about it, everyday tasks, like carrying groceries or even standing up from a chair, can become a struggle. But here's the good news. Studies show that even in your 70s, 80s, and beyond, your muscles can still grow stronger with the right kind of movement. Take my friend Margaret, for example. At 76, she started doing simple resistance exercises, just using light dumbbells and resistance bands, 3 times a week. Within months, she went from needing help getting out of her recliner to gardening for hours without back pain. So what can you do? Start small. Try chair squats, standing up and sitting down slowly, wall push-ups, or even carrying a small bag of groceries in each hand for a minute. The goal isn't to bulk up, it's to keep your muscles strong enough to keep you independent and active for years to come. 2. Keep your brain sharp with daily challenges. Now, let's talk about your brain. Just like your muscles, your mind needs exercise too. And no, I don't mean just doing crossword puzzles, though those are great. The seniors who stay mentally sharp are the ones who constantly challenge their brains in new ways. Think about it like this. If you take the same walking path every single day, your body gets used to it, right? Well, your brain works the same way. If you do the same puzzles or routines all the time, it stops being a challenge. But when you learn something new, whether it's a language, a musical instrument, or even how to use a new app on your phone, you're creating new neural pathways. That's like giving your brain a fresh burst of youth. Take Bob, for instance. At 82, he decided to learn how to paint, something he'd never tried before. At first, it was frustrating. But within weeks, he noticed his focus was sharper, his memory improved, and he even felt more energized. Why? Because he was giving his brain a workout in a way it hadn't had in years. So here's your challenge. Pick one new thing to learn this week. It could be as simple as trying a new recipe, memorizing a poem, or even brushing your teeth with your non-dominant hand. Surprise your brain. It'll thank you for it. Now, these first 2 habits alone can make a massive difference in how you feel every day. But we've got 3 more powerful habits to cover, things that affect your energy, your mood, and even how long you live. We'll dive into those in the next part, so stay tuned. In the meantime, I'd love to hear from you. Which of these 2 habits do you already do? Or which one are you excited to try? Drop a comment below. I read every single one. And if you found this helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe for more tips on living your best life after 70. Remember, age is just a number, it's what you do with it that counts. Welcome back, my friend. In the last part, we talked about 2 game-changing habits that keep seniors thriving: strength training and brain challenges. But today, we're diving into the next 2 habits that most people overlook, and honestly, they might surprise you. Because they're not about doing more, they're about doing things differently. Ready? Let's jump right in. 3. Move naturally throughout the day. Forget exercise. Now, when I say move naturally, I don't mean signing up for a marathon or sweating it out at the gym. In fact, Some of the healthiest seniors I know never exercise in the traditional sense. Instead, they move all day long, gardening, puttering around the house, taking leisurely strolls after meals. The secret? They don't sit for too long. Here's why this matters. Research on the world's longest living populations, like folks in Okinawa or Sardinia, shows they rarely sit for more than 20 to 30 minutes at a time. They're up and down, stretching, bending, walking without even thinking about it. Compare that to the average person who might sit for hours watching TV or scrolling, and no wonder joints stiffen and energy plummets. Take my neighbor, Roy. At 78, he's out in his workshop every day, tinkering with projects. He's not working out, but he's constantly reaching, lifting light objects, and walking around his yard. Last year, his doctor told him his mobility was like someone 15 years younger. His response? I just hate sitting still. So here's your tip. Set a little rule: every 30 minutes, do something. Stand and stretch, walk to the kitchen for water, or even march in place during TV commercials. It's not about intensity, it's about consistency. Your body was made to move, not to stay parked in a chair. 4. Eat like you're 50. Even at 70 plus. Okay, this one might ruffle some feathers, but stick with me. Most people assume that as we age, we need fewer nutrients. But science says the opposite. After 70, your body actually needs more protein to maintain muscle, more fiber for digestion, and key vitamins like B12 and D that become harder to absorb. The problem? Too many seniors fall into what I call the tea and toast trap, relying on bland, processed foods because they're easy. But the vibrant 80 and 90-year-olds? They eat like they're still in their prime. Plenty of eggs, beans, leafy greens, and yes, even healthy fats like olive oil and nuts. Let me tell you about Ethel. At 84, she starts every morning with a veggie omelette and avocado. She snacks on almonds and berries, and her dinners are full of fish and roasted veggies. When her friends complained about low energy, she simply said, "Honey, you're not eating real food." And guess what? Within weeks of tweaking their diets, they felt like new people. Now, I'm not saying you need to overhaul everything overnight. Start with one upgrade. Swap white bread for whole grain. Add an extra vegetable to dinner, or try a protein-rich snack like Greek yogurt with walnuts. Small changes add up to big energy boosts. Now, I've saved the most powerful habit for last, and it's not what you'd expect. It's not about food or exercise, it's about connection. But we'll dive deep into that in the final part, because it's too important to rush. For now, I'd love to hear. Which of today's habits resonated with you? Are you a mover, like Roy, or ready to give Ethel's eating tips a try? Drop a comment below. Your stories inspire me and others watching. And if you're finding this helpful, hit that like button and subscribe for more. Remember, friend, aging isn't about decline, it's about opportunity. See you in the next one. My friend, we've covered some life-changing habits so far, from keeping your muscles strong to eating for energy and moving naturally. But today, we're talking about the most powerful habit of all, the one that lights up your brain, boosts your immune system, and might just add years to your life. And here's the beautiful part. It's absolutely free and available to everyone. 5. Cultivate deep social connections, your secret longevity weapon. Let me ask you something. When you think about healthy aging, do you picture vitamins? Exercise? Well, here's a stunning fact. Research shows that strong social connections are just as important for longevity as not smoking. That's right. Having meaningful relationships can add up to 15 years to your lifespan. But here's the catch, not just any relationships. We're talking about real, face-to-face connections that make you feel valued and understood. Now I know what you might be thinking, easier said than done. Friends move away, spouses pass on, family gets busy. And you're absolutely right. That's why the seniors who thrive make this a priority. Take my friend George, at 82, he hosts a weekly coffee hour at his local community center. Started with just 2 people. Now, 15 regulars show up every Tuesday. They laugh, they debate, they celebrate birthdays. And George? His doctor says his blood pressure improved more from those gatherings than from his medication. Here's why this works magic. When you engage in meaningful conversation, your brain releases oxytocin, nature's anti-stress hormone. It lowers inflammation, improves sleep, and even sharpens memory. But here's the key, it has to be real connection. Not just Facebook likes or quick hellos at the grocery store. So how can you start? Try this. Reach out to one person this week for a real conversation. Maybe an old friend you've been meaning to call. Or join a book club, gardening group, or volunteer opportunity. Even chatting with neighbors counts. The goal isn't quantity, it's quality. 1 or 2 deep connections can make all the difference. Now, let's take a step back. These 5 habits we've covered: strength, brain challenges, natural movement, nourishing food, and deep connections. They're not about adding more to your to-do list. They're about shifting how you approach each day. The seniors who master these, they're not superhuman. They've just discovered the simple formula for aging with energy, purpose, and joy. Remember my opening question? Why do only 5% of seniors do these things? It's not because they're hard. It's because most people don't realize how powerful small, consistent changes can be. You don't need to overhaul your life overnight. Just pick one habit to focus on this month. Maybe it's adding some light strength exercises. Or calling an old friend for a proper catch-up. Small steps lead to big changes. Before we wrap up, I want you to do something for me. Pause for just a moment and imagine yourself 6 months from now. How do you want to feel? More energetic? More engaged with life? That future is absolutely within your reach, starting today. Now I'd love to hear from you. Which of these 5 habits spoke to you most? Or maybe you've already discovered some of these secrets yourself? Share your thoughts in the comments. Your wisdom might inspire someone else watching. If you found this helpful, do me a favor, hit that like button, share it with a friend who might benefit, and subscribe for more content to help you thrive at any age. Remember, my friend, aging isn't about slowing down, it's about living up. Here's to your health and happiness.